Hello there and welcome back to a Halloween gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free baking video. How are we doing today? Today I'm going to be showing you my recipe for a pumpkin cake, but of course it is going to be gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free. You will be needing the following equipment: some scales, some measuring spoons, a pumpkin cake pan, some spray oil, 2 large mixing bowls, a wooden spoon or electric hand whisk, a spatula, a cake tester, a skewer, a toothpick or a teaspoon handle, a cooling rack, 1 small mixing bowl, a wooden spoon, 2 piping bags, a tall glass, an elastic band and some scissors, a display plate, or you can use what I'm using, which is a cake stand with a glass dome on top. And that's all of your equipment, so you will also be needing the following ingredients. For your cake, you will be needing 200 grams of butter, softened, I like to use lacto-free butter, 200 grams of caster sugar, 4 medium-sized egg whites, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice syrup, 200 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour, and some orange food colouring. And for your decoration, you will be needing 230 grams of icing sugar, some water, some green food colouring and some more orange food colouring. So, let's go! First things first, measure out and prepare all of your ingredients so that they're completely ready for you to use, and then preheat your oven to 190 degrees C on a conventional oven, 170 degrees C on a fan oven, or gas mark 5. So now that we've preheated our oven, it is now time to prepare our cake pan. So for this we will be needing our pumpkin cake pan and our spray oil. So I'm simply just going to open my spray oil and give this one heck of a good spritz, making sure to get in all the nooks and crannies of it, because otherwise the cake will stick and that will not be a good thing. There we go. There we go, as I say. So now that that is all done, we're going to place this off to the side until we're ready to bake. So now that we've done all that nasty prep work, it is now time to begin actually making our cake. So for this we will be needing our wooden spoon or electric hand whisk, our large mixing bowl, our spatula and all of our cake ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is add all of my butter to my mixing bowl, followed by my caster sugar. And now I'm going to mix these together until they are light and fluffy. So now that that is all done, I'm going to add all of my egg whites and all of my pumpkin spice. And now I'm going to mix these together until I have a nice smooth batter. So now that that is all done, I'm going to add in all of my flour. And now I'm going to mix this until it is fully combined. So now I'm going to add in my orange food colouring until I'm happy with the colour. So I'm going to put in about that much and see how I get on. So I'm going to mix this in, and I may or may not add more colour to it, but you know, you'll see the end result. So now that this is completely done and I'm absolutely loving this colour, I'm now going to need my prepared pumpkin cake pan. So now all that is left to do is add this to this, so let's get on with it. Okay, so now I'm just going to slowly ease all of this cake mixture into every bit of this cake pan. You can of course do this with jiggling it with your hands, but my chest is a bit poorly at the moment, so I can't do that, unfortunately. And there we go, that's that all done. So now I'm going to place this into my preheated oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Or until I insert a cake tester, a skewer, a toothpick or a teaspoon handle and it comes out completely clean. After that time, I'm then going to grab my cooling rack, take my cake pan out of the oven, placing it onto the cooling rack to cool for 10 minutes. And then after those 10 minutes, I'm then going to take my cake out of its cake pan, placing it back onto the cooling rack to cool completely. So now that our cake is out of the oven and cooling, it is now time to begin making our icing. So for this we will be needing our spatula, our large mixing bowl, our teaspoon, which I personally have taken off of my measuring spoons, all of our icing ingredients and our small mixing bowl. So the first thing I'm going to do is add all of my icing sugar to my large mixing bowl. And now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of my water to my icing sugar until it equals a thick, smooth paste. Ooh, it'd help if I could do that a bit better. There we are. Okay, so that is perfect. So this consistency is going to be really, really good for the stem of our pumpkin cake. And what I'm going to do, because the stem isn't the entire cake, what I'm going to do is add about, well, place about 1/4 to 1/3 of this mixture into this bowl. So let's get on with that. I think that ratio is probably about right. Maybe a tiny bit more. There we go. Leave it at that now. I don't trust. I always underestimate, sorry. Get it off. Right, okay. So now, next thing I'm going to do is add in my colours. So I'm going to add the orange food colouring to my main large mixing bowl even. You can add as much or as little as you like. It's completely up to you. Going to add that much, and then I'm going to add my green to my smaller mixing bowl, and now I'm going to mix these up. Actually, I'm probably going to grab either another spoon. So actually I think I'm just going to grab my wooden spoon as well, because I don't want the two mixtures to, obviously I don't want to use the same thing to mix both mixtures. Give me 1 second. Okay, now that I've got my wooden spoon, well, which is actually silicone, and my spatula, I'm just going to mix these until they reach my desired colours. So now that this is all done and looking amazing, I'm now going to need my 2 piping bags, my tall glass, my elastic bands, and my scissors. Okay, so I'm first of all going to put my orange icing in its piping bag. So I'm going to need my piping bag. I'm going to open that up. Place this into my tall glass. You can use a nozzle if you want to, it's completely up to you, but I'm personally just not going to. Then using my first elastic band, I'm going to wrap that around the sides of my tall glass. This will just stop your piping bag collapsing in on itself when you're adding your mixture to your piping bag. So let's get this lot in there, if I can, goodness me. Okay, so now we are just going to unravel the elastic band, unravel our bag, our edges of our piping bag, squeeze the mixture down. Then using our elastic band again, we're going to twizzle around the top. Using our elastic band, just tie this up. This will just help when you're piping so that it doesn't go up the piping bag that way and then go all over your hands. Okay, that's looking perfect. So now that this is all done, repeat this with your rest of your icing and then set these off to the side until we're ready to decorate. So now that our cake is completely finished cooling, it is now time to decorate, and I'm personally going to start with the orange. So I'm going to snip that end off very, very small. Okay, not very, very small, maybe a bit bigger. Probably about there. There we are. And I'm just going to basically, sorry, not an itch. And I'm just going to basically draw little lines around the edges and then do little moon, you'll see at the end of it. Okay, not too bad if I do say so myself. So now I'm just going to do, oh, without that tipping out, little, basically I'm going to go like that and then just slowly work my way into the middle. As I say, you're going to see the end result, and I don't know why I keep trying to explain it to you. Probably because I try too hard. Okay, so although I've got loads of orange left, which I could pipe out and then flood it sort of thing, I'm actually really liking it. So now I'm just going to get the green out and give that a go and see what happens at the end. I'm going to make this probably about the same size. So actually I might make it a bit wider than the orange, maybe about there. There we go. And now I'm just going to pipe loads of lines on the stem. And there we have it. I'm actually really liking it on its own, but I'm still glad that I did that much icing of both of them because it gave me the option to do whatever I liked with it. So as I say, just decorate however you want to. And there we have it. Have a look. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. And that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description as I love them all. I'm going to put them there if I didn't, including the recipe for this lovely cake and the links to all of the flour and equipment you will need for this recipe. If you do make this at home, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag bakingwithvickiie so that I can see all of your lovely creations. Let me know in the comments of anything else you'd like to see me make, gluten, lactose or yeast free, as I do them all. And finally, don't forget to like, leave a nice comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!